Good day, sir. This is Jocelyn Longotan, PSMT second year sections of petroleum. So now, our topic for today is all about MARPOL, the Annex 1, Prevention of Pollution from Oil at Sea. Prevention of pollution through marine environment shipboard operations. So what is MARPOL? MARPOL stands for the International Conventions for the Prevention of Pollutions from Ships, which is set of international regulations aimed at everything various forms of pollution from ships, including oil pollution, sewage, garbage, and air emissions. It was adopted by the International Maritime Organizations, or which we called IMO, in 1973 and has been updated several times. Regulation 73-78 Annex 1 refers to the specific regulation which MARPOL Annex 1, which focuses on the prevention of pollutions by oil from ships. So these regulations are significant important because it lays down stringent rules and standards for the discharge of oil and oily mixtures into the sea, the design and operations of oil pollution prevention equipment such as oil water operators, and maintenance of an oil. So now, let's proceed to the objectives. So, my objectives in this MARPOL Annex 1 is preventing pollutions of the marine environment. And the second one is ensuring safe shipboard operations. So first is the oily water discharge. Discharge outside a special area. First is the tanker is not within a special area. And then the second, the tanker is more than 50 nautical miles from the nearest land. And the third, the tanker is proceeding en route. The fourth, its instantaneous rate of discharge of oil content does not exceed to 30 liters per nautical mile. So the fifth, the total quantity of oil discharged into the sea does not exceed for tankers delivered on or before in December 31, 1979. And for the tankers delivery after 31 December 1979, as defined in the regulations 1.28, 2,000 of the total quantity of the particular cargo which residue from port. And then the last is the tanker has in operations on oil discharge monitoring and control system and the slop tank arrangement as required by the Regulation 29 and 31 of this annex. So now let's proceed to the next slide. So we have oil water separator. So what is oil water separator? So, oil water separator is a piece of equipment used to treat wastewater, making it safe to discharge into an approved discharge point, such as sewer. So, it removes oil, grease, and hydrocarbons, leaving only the non-hazardous water. And then the wastewaters can dispose of safely in the drainage. The functions of an oil separator is to separate oil from the hot gases into the discharge line and return into the compressor crankcase or to the oil reservoir in system with multiple compressors. So, maintenance and inspections are crucial prevention measures for oil water separators, which we called OWS, and bilge alarm system on ships. Regular upkeep help ensure the proper functioning of these systems and prevent potential environment hazard. So this we call the oil water separator here. And then as per regulations for oily water separator in the Annex 1 of MARPOL under regulations for specified under paragraphs 2, 3, and 6, any direct discharge of oil or oily water mixtures into the sea shall be prohibited. So, the regulations further explains how an oily water mixture can be treated on board and can be discharged out of sea, safely discharged out of sea. So, in the next slide, let's proceed. The prevention measures. So, the prevention measures for oil water separators, which we call OWS. So first is the routine inspection. Regularly, it inspects measures for oil water separators. So first is the routine inspections. Regularly inspect the OWS for leaks or any damages. And the second one is the oil content monitoring. It continuously monitors the oil content in the ensure the compliance with regulations. And then the third one is the filter replacement. It replaced filters needed to maintain separations efficiency. And then the fourth one is the sensor calibrations. It calibrates sensor to accurately detect. So it will detect the oil levels in the water. And then the fifth one is the record keeping. So the record keeping, it maintains the detailed records of maintenance activities and such as inspection and discharge of oil, and also the records. For bilge alarm system, we have the first is the sensor checks. It's regularly check and test the bilge level. So it was related to the almost relate to OWS rather. And then the second one is alarm testing. So it's test the alarm system to ensure they activate when required. So first is test. And then the third one is the manual override. So the manual override verify the manual override controls are operational in case of any failure. And then the fourth one is the record data. So in record data, it will keep all the records of alarm tests and all the sensor checks and any alarms that are triggered. So let's proceed to that's all for the prevention measures, and let's proceed to the next slide. The next slide is the maintenance and inspection. This is very important. So first is the routine check. Ship operators are required to conduct routine check to ensure that all equipment related to oily water separations and discharge, such as an oil and oil filtering systems, are in a good working condition. So first is to check that all the equipment and it should be in a good working condition. And then the second one is reporting. So if any malfunctions or non-compliance that is detected during routine check or in the operations of the oily water separation system, it must be reported. So the report is very important in the maintenance and inspections for the responsibility of the personnel for pollution prevention. And the last one is record keeping. So in record keeping, it records all of the activities related to the oily water separation system. It includes the routine check, maintenance, and any incident or any malfunction should be recorded as per regulations of the MARPOL 7378. So let's proceed to the next slide. So this is the last slide, the conclusion. So our conclusion is the first, environmental protections. As per in Annex 1 of the MARPOL 7378, it aims to protect the marine environment by minimizing oil pollutions. So oil spills can have devastating effect on marine ecosystems and such as the wildlife and the coastal area. So let's proceed to the second one, the safety at sea. So reducing oil pollutions enhances the safety at sea. So any oil spills can lead to slippery from the deck and the post-fire hazard, so it's very dangerous. So jeopardizing the safety of our crew members and vessel. So for the safety of sea. And the third one is the international cooperation. So let's proceed to the international cooperation. So in international cooperations, MARPOL is an international treaty and Annex 1 to ensure that all the countries worldwide adhere to common regulation, and this promote cooperation in preventing of marine pollutions on the global sea. So this MARPOL Annex 1 is in worldwide, should it to be advised by the law. And then the liability and accountability. So in Annex 1 establishes liability and accountability for the ship owners and the operators in case of oil pollution incidents. So this encourage responsible practices. And then the last one is the technology advancements. It will compliance with the Annex 1 encourage the development and adoptions of innovative technologies and such as the best practices in preventions of the shipping industry. So that's all for this video presentations. I hope that you understand and enjoy this video. Thank you for listening.